Birmingham man 31-year-old Alan Edney was a man who failed to keep his emotions in check. He was abrasive, egotystical, and a tyrant, and it was only a matter of time before he killed someone because he could not keep his hands to himself, even if that person was his partner, and because of his cold and selfish actions, a woman lost her life. It took just 4 weeks for Alan to be found guilty of the of 35-year-old Kerry Owens, and what she was subjected to was absolutely horrible. According to reports, Alan Edney had lost control and absolutely battered his partner, Kerry Owens, until the point that she was no longer moving on the evening of May 26, 2022. Now, this did not happen in the home or away from prying eyes. So uncontrollable with rage was Alan that CCTV showed that Alan had jabbed and hooked his partner repeatedly on a country lane, with so much force that the victim was left with missing teeth and also fractures. Now, Kerry had suffered such serious injuries that in order to cover up his own tracks, Alan had told elaborate fibs to keep her family from searching for Kerry. Alan had told Kerry's concerned family that Kerry had been killed in a collision where the driver failed to stop and instead fled the scene. Kerry's family kept asking for answers, but Alan told the family members that he and Kerry had gone camping, despite it being known that Kerry did not enjoy camping. However, Alan stuck to the same story, and he told family members that the two had been messing around running through cornfields. He slipped while Kerry continued to run ahead of him through a farm gate. Now, by the time Alan had caught up with Kerry, she was already laying on the ground with her in her head, and the Peugeot was driving off. Now, family remembered that they were crying when they heard the news because that's the normal reaction, but Alan was calm and he spoke of the incident as matter-of-factly. Now, Alan played the role of a distraught partner and told Kerry's loved ones that he had accompanied a lifeless Kerry to the hospital, and in separate conversations, Alan also told Kerry's family that he had been taken to the police station to give a statement and help with the investigation. The idea Alan wanted to portray was that he was doing everything that he could to help. In reality, Alan Edney, the brute, had killed Kerry Owens with his own hands, and as she lay dead, he even pondered what lies he would tell until he settled on telling Kerry's family that she had lost her life in a collision. Now, at no point in those 3, 4, 5, 6 hours did Alan call for an ambulance. Alan had actually moved Kerry and then placed her in her ditch. He then covered her in grass in order to hide his crimes. Now, it was a man walking the very next day where his dog stumbled across Kerry after seeing a pool of red, and then of course they followed the trail where Kerry was found nearby in Waste Hills Lane in Hopwood on May 27, 2022. Even when Alan was arrested and charged with suspicion of the Alan pled his innocence and told police that he had an alibi at the time that Kerry was killed. His alibi was Alan was at home in bed. However, when police checked CCTV, phone signal pings and statements from nearby, it painted Alan as a devious man who had every intent to kill a woman he claimed to love, and then he played the victim when it suited him. In Kerry's final moments alive, her family who sat in court were forced to listen to her screams that had been caught on CCTV. Now, of course, Alan Edney, who is from the Handsworth area in Birmingham, was hauled off in front of a judge where he was found guilty of striking his girlfriend until she died, and he was jailed for life, with a minimum term set at 20 years. The question is, does the crime match the sentence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Stay safe.